PK in the universe, and I am back again here with another Evercade video. And today I wanted to talk about, is it too early for Evercade to make a mini console or a classic mini type deal? I have several mini consoles. I have a PS1 Classic, I have an NES Classic, an SNES Classic, I have the C64 Mini, I have the Atari 7800 Mini, also known as the first Atari Flashback. I have a number of these little mini consoles. So I wanted to talk about it. Is it too early for Blaze to do this? And would they ever do it? I think that's a really good question to talk about. So of course, I have the Evercade handheld. Now I was thinking if they ever did a mini version of this, what could they do? I mean, there's, Chinese knockoff handhelds that are like 20 bucks, honestly, that have just loaded with ROMs. They could do something similar, but maybe make it a little bit smaller and sleeker. It's funny, too, in a previous video I talked about how I hope they would never do an Evercade Go, like an all-digital Evercade. But if they were all self-contained on them, that would be a little bit different. And it's also similar to how the Evercade EXP has the 18 built-in Capcom games. Except this would have no cartridge functionality. And it's kind of perfect because if you look at, an actual Evercade, it just blends right in. And I could see them just, not having that blend in and just writing like classic on the back or something like that. And what would it contain though? It could contain, several games. It would obviously contain maybe like 20 games because that's typically what would be held on a simple Evercade. And I think this could be like a gateway drug for people to get into Evercade, just to experience the games. Maybe they would do an Evercade VS Mini as well. But it would just be a console, that's much smaller than the regular Evercade VS. They wouldn't need to worry about the, dual carts and everything. And you could just have like 40 self-contained games. What would be on these consoles? I mean, you could put a number of different types of games on there. You could put maybe just a nice mixture of, action, RPG, racing, a few sports games maybe, just a little of everything, something for everyone. I also talked about in my previous Evercade video about how I felt that Evercade needs exclusives. It needs actual legit exclusives. I could see them having like every single Evercade exclusive maybe on these systems, on a mini console. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, at the end of the day, Blaze is all about physical media. But obviously they've shown in the past that they're not unwilling to dip their toe in the whole digital media situation. You have the unlockable Evercade games when you put two different cartridges in the Evercade VS that are, maybe it's like Atari 1, Atari 2 or something like that. Then you have the games that are, you can put a password in and it'll unlock them. In fact, the Evercade EXP, I guess now will have the function of when you put the password in, you can actually lock the game into your system as opposed to having to put the password on there every time. I would love to see a software update that allows you to do that with the Evercade VS as well. And then there's the Evercade Game of the Month, and of course, as I said before, there's the Evercade EXP digital games, the 18 Capcom games. Blaze is not unwilling to possibly do a single one-and-done digital system, I don't think. Based on this pattern, this is an established pattern. People act like the Evercade EXP was a one-off or something. But no, they've been doing this the whole time, honestly. I don't understand how people don't see that, but to each their own. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, of course, but this is my opinion, and I feel like, yeah, Blaze has been dipping their toe in digital ever since the Evercade VS. This should not surprise literally anyone. Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think they should maybe do an Evercade Go, where it's like an all-digital system where you're buying stuff off an online store. I expressed that in a previous video. But I totally think, yes, you could do a one-and-done, real cheap one, maybe like 50 bucks or something like that. Evercade VS Classic or an Evercade Classic, I guess. And I think that would work, and I think that would entice a lot of people to maybe just dip their toe in the Evercade sand, or whatever you want to call it, Evercade pool? Evercade sand? I don't know, whatever you call it. But anyways, I think that'd be an interesting idea, down the road. Maybe they won't do it, next year, obviously, because we all know they're going to have another Evercade console, because they do this every year. They make a new console every year. I'm just kidding. I think they'll actually finally skip a year this year, because, the Evercade and Evercade EXP, the EXP to me is like going from the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color. It's skipping the whole Pocket generation, really. But maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not in 2023, but it's an idea to maybe, convince more people to buy Evercade's products. But anyways, that's my thoughts on an Evercade classic. The reason I made this video is because a friend had talked to me about this and we were just kind of just joking, and then I'm like, why don't I actually make that into an actual video? A lot of people seem to like those speculation videos. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you see down the road Blaze having an Evercade classic of any kind? Comment below. Love to hear what you have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.